Hey, hi guys, welcome again. Today I'm going to be talking about what I would call the myths about export. I've gotten so many requests from people asking me, "Oh, can I export? I'm an individual. I don't have a license. I don't have so much money." You even have some big companies reaching out and saying, "Look, we sell this, we sell that. How can we export?" and things like that. But really, today, one of the things I have seen is Africa has massive potential. We Africans, we have massive potential. And that's why here at Export and Sell, our belief is that we can increase the wealth of Africa, looking at all the things we have. So today I'm going to be talking about some of the myths about export, because before you get into any business, you need to prepare your mind. You need to know that that is a business you can do. So the first one I'll talk about is the mindset that a lot of people have, that only the very big companies can go into export. Look, that is totally wrong. That is totally wrong. Let me tell you my story. Before I got interested in export, what happened was, I came down from US. I was in Lagos, Nigeria, just in my car, moving around, going somewhere, and then I saw this guy that was selling this little vases, made of bamboo, very nice thing. It's just like a little bowl that you used to keep things on your table and stuff like that. And it was so nice. And I called him. I said, "Look, I like this thing. I think I can sell this in the USA. Can you bring me like 25 or more of it?" And I gave him my address. The next day he showed up at my office, brought about 19 of it. And that was how I started export. I now took the 19 vases, that he brought for me, traveled back to the USA, and I listed it on Amazon. And in under 2-3 months, all of this sold at prices that were amazing, prices that were 4-5 times what I bought it for locally. So again, if you look at it, I'll tell you, when people say, "Oh, only big companies can go into export," I started that experience with items worth less than $100. Yes, it was good for me in that I didn't have to pay the shipping because I was traveling here and there. But even if I paid the shipping for those items, there's no way the shipping to the USA will cost more than $100. So I started learning about export, putting things on Amazon for under $200. And all these things are possible. So where you see that belief, what has happened typically in Africa is that you have the very big companies coming to take over our natural resources, and they take over those resources, and it's only those companies, Chinese companies, European companies, American companies, they take over a whole area. They are mining our copper, they are doing so many things, they are tapping into our forest reserves, and they are exporting all those items. So because of that, so many of we Africans think that it's only the big companies that can go into export. And I'm telling you, look, I started export with just $200. So get that mindset off. And that is one of the things I try to show Africans. You can start with a very a minimal amount, and we'll show you how all those things are done. I have a full training series that talks about wealth finding. So how you are able to find that right product for export. And I can tell you one thing I've noticed. All over us, there are items that can be exported. All over you in Africa. I also say this again. I think it was in 2014. My mom came to the USA for treatment, cancer treatment. And after the treatment, thank God she's fine now. After the treatment, the nurse said she should be drinking this soursop. I'm sure a lot of you will know soursop. If you don't know it, Google it. SOURSOP, soursop leaves. She should take the dry soursop leaves. And I remember then, back in Africa, I hated going to my grandmom's house because she made us sweep the leaves of the probably 20 soursop trees she had in her compound, and we had to burn it. And I now got to the US. looking for those leaves. I searched and I found it on Amazon. A small tiny pack like this was selling for $14. And I said to myself, these are the products that we are throwing away in Africa. We are burning. Up till today, in my grandmom's house, they continue to burn those leaves. And when you look around you, there are so many things that can be exported. How much is it going to cost you to dry soursop leaves, put it in small packs, and ship to the USA to sell on Amazon and places like that? Again, we have trainings that focus on those things. Now, the next myth, idea that a lot of people have is that, for me to go into export, I have to ship in a container load. Look, guys, I keep saying it. No. There are companies who have started successful export business by shipping items small to various countries. They go on Instagram, they go on Facebook, and they have people buy their products, and then they ship it to them. The key thing is to get started. Bill Gates says, there's a saying from Bill Gates that we overestimate where we can be in 1 year, but we underestimate where we can be in 10 years. And what is he saying? He's saying start now. You may not, in the first 1 month, you may not get a buyer. In the second month, you may not get a buyer, but I'm telling you for a fact, by 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, you'll be amazed at the amount of buyers you have. So don't think that you need to start export by shipping a container load. Start small. The key thing is have a product that is exportable. And that's one of the things we do. If you click the link below, you will see a course that we do where I show you how to identify profitable products from anywhere in Africa for you to export. Now, another thing a lot of people talk about is shipping is expensive. Yes, shipping is expensive. And why is it expensive? Because most of the time, a lot of us are focusing, we are not doing our calculations right. So what you see most people doing is, and yes, it may be expensive for you when you are starting. So you have a situation where most people come and say they want to export this item, for example. They have a buyer and they go to maybe a DHL or stuff like that, or a FedEx or any shipping company to export it to them. Then you will always have a minimum charge, and that minimum charge makes it difficult for you to export in small tiny quantities like this. So what is it that we at Export and Sell have done to take care of that? Now, one of the things you will see with export is if I go to a shipping company and I want to export just this item, they may charge me maybe an equivalent of $30 to ship it to the USA. But if I come with maybe 5 of the same items, I come with 5 small items like this, they will also charge me that same amount, because they always have a minimum charge. So how do you deal with such when you have buyers from different areas coming to you here and there? And that's one of the things we do at Export and Sell, because we have warehouses that we are opening up for Africans to use. You can be anywhere in Africa and have access to our warehouse. When you have such orders and you get such orders on a regular basis, what we tell you to do is to ship maybe 20 or 30 or 40, you can even ship 100 of those items. You ship it to our warehouse. And then as your customers order, you just email us. We are developing a software which will be ready soon. You just log into the software and you say, ship this product from the USA to this customer in California, to this customer in New Jersey, to wherever it is. A lot of you can even put your products there and sell them on Etsy, sell them on eBay, sell them on various outlets. And with such solution, you will see that your shipping is going to drop dramatically. So again, export is about knowing the right things to do. Now, another thing people always talk about, why some people are scared about going into export is, I can't find foreign buyers. I don't know who is out there who is going to buy my product. It's simple. Why you can't find foreign buyers is simple. You are, one, not selling the right items. It's as simple as that. You know, in one of the trainings I do, again, click the link below, you see that training, is I show you, starting with Amazon, the amount of money people are making in some very little item, very things that you will not think is selling. But you're going to see people who are doing, companies who are doing $100,000 of those things on a monthly basis. I talked about soursop earlier on. You will see soursop leaves where somebody is making $15,000 a month. Dried soursop leaves. A lot of you in Africa there, you have baobab. You know, that's one of the trees they call the, you know, because if you know the baobab tree has so many functions, even to the point that the stem and so many, they are all medicinal. And a lot of times we have these things lying around in Africa, you know, just wasting. What does it take for you to pack these things and start selling? Look, the buyers are out there. You just need to know the right product to export. And that's one of the things I show you. All right, so another thing that a lot of people worry about is, how do I get my money after shipping? You know, look, again, like I said, you will be amazed at what you will see. I've seen people who, because they have a product that is in demand, you have people who are ready to send them the money, pay for the item before they ship it. The problem is that most people sit down there, you do nothing, you have nothing to export, and then you are just there worried. Start by having that product initially. That's the key. When you have something that is of value, there are people who are ready to pay for it. Now, I'm not going to go into the complicated export process, you know, letters of credit and all those things again, because the type of people I'm trying to help are the small businesses who typically are not going to be exporting in container loads that need that. But I can tell you, there are many ways that you receive your funds. One that I always push to people is to start by selling on Amazon. If you are selling on Amazon, you're selling on Etsy. Once you are able to register on those platforms, and they have ways now where they can pay you irrespective of the country that you are from. Once you are registered on those platforms, you will have buyers, and those buyers will pay you. The money will be deposited in your account. Payoneer and some other platforms are there. They are working with Amazon to help transfer money from the US where the buyers are buying your products to you. And again, I talk about this in depth in some of our other series. So don't worry about, oh, where am I going to get paid? There are people that will pay you. A lot of countries in Africa, you can set up a PayPal account. You can use PayPal to start selling. The problem is we just sit down there thinking nothing. You know, you just want things to fall on your laps. And that's my goal. My goal is to help Africans see the huge opportunity that exists. Now, another one is African goods are substandard. You know, this is probably one of the biggest myths I've seen out there. You know why? Because most of the products you see outside, you know, food products and things like that, they originate from Africa. Take the case of, I think, cashew nuts, for example. One of the things you see cashew nuts, and this is for those of you in Nigeria, a lot of you are shipping cashew nuts, you know, the raw cashew nuts. You ship it to companies in Vietnam and co that buy them. And then what do they do there? They repackage it, they rebrand it, and ship those things to the USA. They ship them to Europe. They ship them to all these countries. So again, African goods are not substandard. It's just a factor of how you package it. It's a factor of how you rebrand this product. That is what is going on. So again, you need to take note of this. And again, one of the areas that we focus on is rebranding. We have a team of about 30 experts that take your products and they help to rebrand it. So again, let's get it right. A lot, let me tell you, in 2018, that was like 2 years before the COVID, I was at an event in Florida, food and beverage show in Florida. So I was attending, and there were a couple of countries there. I think, was it Kenya or so? But South Africa was there, Nigeria was there. I think those were like the 3 main countries that was there. South Africa had a massive show in there. And I was, just standing by the Nigerian booth, and a gentleman came to me, and he was like, "Oh, Nigeria, I do business with Nigeria." And then he showed me the product that he exports. He deals with this hibiscus tea, and he was selling it in Europe. So he came to the USA to look at the US market and the potentials. And when I looked at his packaging, the man was from Egypt. Egypt is also Africa. But I'm trying to tell you something. The packaging of the product said hibiscus from the Nile. And he was like, yeah, because of that branding, he's been able to really sell this product, in Europe, because they look at it, oh, it's coming from the Nile, it must be natural, it must have this unadulterated feature. And when we got talking, he now told me, look, this product is not actually from the Nile. The products are actually gotten from a town called Kano in Nigeria. He goes there, buys them in bulk, he just rebrands it and sells. So what am I trying to tell you? The perception of the product you sell is a factor of how you brand it, how you package it, how you present it to buyers. So when people tell you, oh, your goods are from Africa, it's poor standard, look, that is a whole lot of nonsense. Don't believe that. Just get to know the things you need to do to get it to the quality that is needed out there. And those are things that we'll show you here at Export and Sell. Now, some other people think export is complicated. Anything you do not know about is complicated. But by the time you start learning about it, by the time you start deep into it, and I can tell you, if you follow my videos, subscribe and follow my videos, in 3 months you'll become an export genius, because I'm going to continue showing you different ways, to go into the export business. And again, some people, I see this issue a lot of times with existing companies who believe that, oh, my product is already good enough the way it is. No. If you are selling a product in your local market versus selling it in the American market, the taste of this market is typically going to be different from yours. The type of branding, the type of labeling, the type of designs they have on their packaging is probably going to be different. So you need to know how to rebrand your product to meet that standard. I typically don't like my videos to be too long, so I'm going to stop there. But again, look, you need to start now. You need to start now. There's a company I am so much in love with. I think it's Alafia. They sell this African black soap. I think they are from Togo. And this company started, I think, in 2003. As of now, they've grown to over 20 million, about 25 to 53 million dollars in sales, just selling natural African black soap. Did they reach that level the year they started? No, they started small. They now have distribution all over the US. They are in stores, various stores all over the US. That's African black soap. So you need to start now. So again, click the link below, subscribe so that you will know whenever I post new video. Subscribe, click the link below, and I will show you. I have a training that you really need to attend. It's what I call a wealth finder training, and what it means is basically it's a training that is designed to show you how to identify the product that is profitable for export. See you shortly.